This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 5th day of August in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The People's Progressive Party, Civic, and the Alliance for Change are among the 4 political parties that have signed on to the Ethnic Relations Commission's Code of Conduct for political parties contesting the upcoming elections. By signing the Code of Conduct, the parties have committed to safeguarding peace, order, and respect for the democratic process. The We Invest in Nationhood Party and the Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity are the other 2 political parties that signed on to the Code of Conduct. However, a Partnership for National Unity and the Forward Guyana movement were absent from the signing. Addressing the representatives of the various political parties at the Other Chung Conference Center, the chairman of the Ethnic Relations Commission, Sheikh Manul Haq, said the Code of Conduct is in keeping with the ERC's constitutional mandate to foster understanding, harmony, and good relations.
Primary objective is to ensure that the rule of law is upheld. Without the rule of law, democracy cannot flourish, and without order, there can be no peace.
The ERC chairman further explained that the clauses in the Code of Conduct are aligned with local legislation, in particular the Representation of the People's Act, the Discrimination Prevention Act, and the Cybercrime Act. Noting that the Code of Conduct calls for the adherence to the law, Sheikh Manul Haq made it clear that it is not merely symbolic but binding in spirit and principle.
It affirms that all political parties must conduct themselves in accordance with the laws of Guyana and must actively appeal to their supporters to do same. Respect for our legal framework is non-negotiable. It is the bedrock upon which credible elections and trust in governance rest. Elections, by their very nature, are designed to give voice to the people. They are a tool for good governance, not a time for hostility or division.
He said political leaders must understand and communicate to their followers that no electoral system is perfect, and as such imperfections exist. Those imperfections, he said, should not be used to plan discord. He said what it calls for is political maturity and restraint.
We therefore call upon all political leaders to set the tone, to demonstrate tolerance and respect for all, to diffuse tensions before they escalate, and to provide guidance in moments of potential conflict. The true strength of a democracy is not merely tested at the ballot box, but in how its leaders conduct themselves before, during, and after the elections. This is a moment that requires statesmanship, not partisanship.
The ERC chairman said having signed on to the code, political parties must vow to conduct campaigns peacefully, reject hate speech and divisive rhetoric, and to put the national interest before partisan ambition. He said the Ethnic Relations Commission will continue to monitor, guide, and support the electoral process. Co-founder of the Alliance for Change, Kemraj Ramjatan, said his party, the AFC, is pleased to have signed on to the agreement.
Indeed, the signing today of this Code of Conduct for political parties conducting the national and general and regional elections 2025 is but an affirmation of our commitment to peace, democracy, rule of law, and all that makes for the greater happiness of Guyanese.
He said while there may be the urge to get on bad, political leaders must demonstrate restraint and maintain peace in keeping with the code. He also spoke of the need for political parties to engage with each other cordially during the course of the elections and after. PPP Executive Secretary Zulfikar Mustafa signed on behalf of the governing party, while Leslyn Lowe signed on behalf of the We Invest in Nationhood Party, and Eon Thomas signed on behalf of the ALP. The signing was witnessed by members of the ERC, officials from the Guyana Elections Commission, and members from the diplomatic community. More news coming up in just a moment.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
We voted for the PPPC again.
Bartico Region 7, get ready! It's your turn to join the red tsunami of support for another 5 years of transformational development for all Guyanese under the People's Progressive Party Civic. Stand strong with the PPPC on the road to elections victory on Saturday, August 9th at Bell Square, 2nd Avenue, Bartico at 4 p.m. Hear from President Dr. Irfan Ali, General Secretary Dr. Bharat Jagdeo, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips, and other leaders who have been in the forefront of Guyana's historic transformation. Be there as the PPPC outlines their national development plans for the next 5 years of continued bold initiatives in education, healthcare delivery, entrepreneurship, agriculture, home ownership, job opportunities, youth development, and recreational infrastructure. Rally with the PPPC on Saturday, August 9th at Bell Square, 2nd Avenue, Bartico at 4 p.m. The PPPC is the only multi-ethnic and trusted political party committed to ensuring no community is left behind. Vote PPPC. Forward together for a better Guyana.
Join us for the International Building Expo 2025 at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence. From August 14th through the 17th, you can explore the latest in building and construction, get tips from the experts, and network with top professionals. But it's also a weekend of clean family entertainment. We have live bands and local artists performing each night. Admission is easy on the wallet. Kids under 12 are free and adults are only $500. The grand opening happens Thursday, August 14th at 5 p.m. Gates are open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Friday through Sunday. Bring the entire family to the International Building Expo 2025 and build some memories together.
Friend, hi, give me a minute now. I want you to clear something up for me.
Okay. What is it, ma'am? Why you look so confused?
I hear all this talk about elections and voting, but I really don't understand how this could affect me.
All right, it's like this. Once you were registered by GECOM and you were 18 years or older by June 30th, 2025, you are entitled to vote, provided that you are listed in the official list of electors.
Well, I registered and I'm over 18, but how I would know if my name is on the official list of electors?
That's very easy. GECOM is displaying the official list of electors at 2 popular places in the community where you live. Just go there and check the list. Or you can go to GECOM's website and use the search tool.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm going and doing it now. Yeah. My name on the list. I definitely voting at elections.
Nice.
For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Moments after signing the Ethnic Relations Commission's Code of Conduct for the upcoming elections, We Invest in Nationhood Representative Hannah Mohammed accused the governing PPP of violating the same code. But firing back, PPP executive member and executive secretary Zulfikar Mustafa said his party will not be bullied. The WIN representative said while the party fully supports the work of the Ethnic Relations Commission and the calls for peace, tolerance, and political decency, it could not sign the Code of Conduct in silence. She accused the incumbent PPP of repeatedly and openly violating the spirit and letter of the same code it was signing.
We call the Commissioner's attention to the constant and deliberate discrediting of our presidential candidate, Azruddin Mohammed, through coordinated online smear campaigns and state-affiliated messaging. These attacks are meant to diminish his credibility and silence the hope he represents for so many. The targeted cyberbullying, harassment, and stalking of WIN women, particularly our Muslim female leaders, our prominent members of the Islamic organizations in Guyana, are relentlessly attacked with racial and religious undertones. We are specifically concerned about the silence of religious organizations who have failed to condemn these gendered and bigoted attacks.
According to Ms. Mohammed, the WIN party has been subject to numerous attacks, with a number of its campaign materials destroyed and desecrated at the hands of supporters of the PPP. Citing the Representation of the People's Act and the Criminal Law Offences Act, she also said it is unlawful to threaten, obstruct, or harass anyone exercising their political rights.
These are not isolated incidents. They are a deliberate campaign by the ruling party to suppress dissent and silence the voices calling for change.
Further, she accused the PPP Civic of exploiting minors for political optics, contending that the practice of parading children in party attire and involving them in rallies is a deeply troubling practice. She said more must be done to address cyberbullying, but made it clear that the WIN party will not be silenced.
We call for clear standards to address cyberbullying, heckling, and coordinated disruptions at political meetings, stalking and doxing of political candidates, and online and offline smear campaigns, especially against our women. The WIN party believes that democracy cannot thrive in fear. We do not seek special treatment. We demand equal protection. We do not want silence. We want accountability. Let this agreement be more than symbolic. Let it be the start of genuine enforcement, where no party, not even the ruling one, is above the law.
But Mohammed's address during the signing, which was witnessed by officials from both the Ethnic Relations Commission and the Elections Commission, as well as members of the Diplomatic Corps, did not sit well with PPP Executive Secretary Zulfikar Mustafa. Mr. Mustafa said it was unfortunate that Mohammed would use the occasion to spew what he called untruths.
We should never, ever, as political party, try to divide this nation. We should never try to bully people. We must never try to impose our own will and people's freedom. And all those things we have and we have been making notes of when those actions are being displayed by the very people who are making accusation.
Noting that his party, the PPP, is pleased to have signed the Code of Conduct, Mustafa said it is vital for political parties to lead by example.
We must demonstrate through both our words and our actions that democracy is stronger when it is inclusive, respectful, and guided by the principles of fairness, tolerance, and unity. As I said, our party, the PPP Civic, remains fully committed to conducting a campaign that uplifts rather than divides, one that focuses on ideas, development, and the best interests of all Guyanese, regardless of ethnicity, religion, or other backgrounds.
He said the code of conduct must be embraced by all political parties, as it is seen as a commitment by the parties to promote peace, order, and respect for the democratic process. One day after warning against obstructing the secrecy of votes, the Guyana Elections Commission today voted against having the phones of voters lodged before they cast their ballots as a means of protecting the secrecy of the vote. The decision was made this afternoon at a meeting of the 7-member commission. The chairman of GECOM, retired Justice Claudette Singh, backed the position of the government-nominated commissioners that the phones of voters should not be taken away before they enter the polling booth. However, the commission agreed that taking a photograph of one's ballot is illegal. It was long-standing Election Commissioner Vincent Alexander who submitted that voters should not be allowed to enter the polling booth with their phones as a means to protect the secrecy of the vote.
Because we have evidence of a previous instance where someone took out his ballot and then made it public. That flies in the face of the law according to the GECOM officials.
He said the commission has evidence of previous instances of persons snapping photos of their ballot and making their voting choice known on social media. Alexander said it also represents a deeper issue of vote buying.
My concern is that there is this accusation that votes are being purchased and that a condition precedent is that the person should take a pic to show that they did vote as promised before they paid. So that's a form of coercion that interferes with free, fair, and transparent elections. And therefore, if we don't allow people to take their phones in, it reduces that possibility significantly. Unfortunately, the GECOM administration and the commissioners appointed by the government, as well as the chairperson, objected to that proposition.
One of their major concerns was guaranteeing the secrecy of the phones when lodged. In a statement on Monday, GECOM said the representation of the People's Act prohibits persons, including voters, from sharing information about the political party for which an individual has voted. Similarly, it is an offense for anyone to influence by any means a voter to display his ballot paper, to make known the political party of his choice or the party choice of a proxy voter. It is also an offense for any person directly or indirectly to offer any money, gift, and or loan to any voter to secure their vote. GECOM warned that anyone who commits such offenses shall be liable on summary conviction to pay a fine and to imprisonment for 6 months. In a statement this morning, a Partnership for National Unity said it is important for the secrecy of the ballot to be guaranteed now more than ever. The party said elections can only be a true reflection of the will of the people when people can vote free from fear, coercion, and bribes. The party said the Guyana Elections Commission can guarantee the secrecy of the ballot by widely publicizing the law that prohibits the photographing of one's ballot and ensure that such laws are enforced on Elections Day. Well, Vice President Barra Jagdeo has assured that the much-talked-about gas-to-energy project will be completed next year, guaranteeing cheaper and more stable electricity. The project was slated to be completed at the end of last year, but it has been dogged by multiple delays. It involves the transporting of gas from offshore through a pipeline to an offshore facility at Wales on the west bank of the Marara, where it will be processed and used to power a 300-megawatt power plant and a natural gas plant. During an interview on 94.1 FM on Monday afternoon, Mr. Jagdeo said the project will also address the country's decades-old power outage problems. The project, which is being heavily criticized by the opposition over the billions being spent, is a flagship project of the governing PPP.
That plant is under construction, will be completed next year. When that happens, we will then cut electricity price by 50%.
So what part of next year is this supposed to come on?
It's slated for about mid next year.
Okay, fair enough.
So 50% cut in electricity prices.
And the lights are going to stay on.
Yes. Well, then we'd have a base load station. So for the lights to stay on permanently, you need to upgrade the transmission system too. So that's why we've awarded a $420 million project to transmit the power on these steel towers.
Mr. Jagdeo said he is not fazed by critics of the project, as he is aware of the benefits it will bring.
So once it goes on those steel towers at the back there, then you can have a stable grid and you have redundancy on the grid. So that's the second phase of the investment. That's why we are hiring this supervision firm to supervise that contract to ensure quality.
Once completed, the Vice President calculated that Guyanese will save more than $500 million annually in costs.
Election offences are actions that have been made illegal by law with a view to ensure that the elections are free, fair and transparent. Some election offences are voting more than once in the same election, voting or attempting to vote if you are not qualified to do so, voting in the name of another person, canvassing for voters or interfering with an elector within 200 yards of a polling station, removing or defacing a lawfully displayed official electoral notice or election materials, deliberately obstructing or interfering with the work of an election officer. Any person found guilty of an election offence may be fined and imprisoned. For some offences, a person may be disqualified from voting in future elections. Do not commit election offences. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
We ready, time to remove the curse.
The APNU Coalition campaign now moves to Region 10, Linden Town. On Sunday, August 10th at the Palm Tree Cinema Square from 4 p.m. Come hear from our candidates. Come hear about our people-centered development strategy that puts people first. Come hear from our Prime Ministerial candidate, Jurita Fernandez, our presidential candidate, Aubrey C. Norton, and others. On Sunday, August 10th from 4 p.m. Linden Town. The Palm Tree Cinema Square will vibrate with a people-powered campaign. APNU, putting people first.
We ready, time to remove the curse.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
Monday, September 1, 2025 is Election Day. At the general election, electors will vote to elect the President and 65 members of the National Assembly. And at the regional election, electors will vote to elect members of the 10 regional democratic councils. Check the official list of electors that is being displayed at 2 prominent places in your area to ensure that you are correctly listed. It is your constitutional right and your civic duty to vote at the upcoming general and regional elections, providing you are listed in the official list of electors. Vote early on election day. For more information, contact the GECOM on 2250-27729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
The Forward Guyana movement, headed by former APNU AFC Member of Parliament Amanza Walton Desir, launched its manifesto today, calling it the Purple Contract with the people of Guyana. At the launch, presidential candidate Amanza Walton Desir said the people of Guyana are in desperate need of a nation that works for all. She said for too long, majority of Guyanese have been left behind, while a few benefit from the country's resources.
We're in this fight to dismantle a political cartel that has kept people poor and vulnerable and increasingly dependent. We are fighting to restore the dignity of this nation through the empowerment of people, fighting to restore the soul of a people through respect and decency.
The manifesto document outlines a plan to tackle underemployment and unemployment among young people. According to the party, youth unemployment remains high, with many young people unable to find jobs that match their skills. It was noted that even young people with higher education often face a mismatch between qualifications and available opportunities, fueling a sense of wasted potential. To address that concern, the party said it will invest strategically in agriculture, tourism, technology, and the manufacturing sector to generate new jobs in dynamic industries, reducing dependence on the oil sector. The party has also outlined its plan to deal with issues such as crime and safety, poverty, inequality, and corruption. Party officials said the party will also be moving ahead with a mission of unity, while firmly rejecting the politics of division and exclusion. Walton Desir believes her party's contract is what Guyana needs, and she promised to use the remaining weeks before the elections to get her party's message across to the people.
People of Guyana have to be vigilant and they have to be wise. Now, we see a campaign unfolding out there where the status quo is spending billions of dollars to convince us that we have no real choice. But when you give the status quo your vote, you transfer your power back to them. You give them the license to rob you blind for another 5 years, and you agree to be satisfied with just accepting crumbs that fall from their tables.
On the issue of poverty, the party plans to expand social protection with focused programs for mothers, children, and the elderly, and to deliver direct pension and support payments via smart cards and mobile money. The party also said it will ensure every Guyanese has the chance to earn a living wage with additional support for youth, women, and rural communities through initiatives like a National Youth Leadership Academy and the National Volunteer Corps that build skills and foster entrepreneurship. The Forward Guyana movement believes that its plans are what Guyana needs, and it is urging voters to give it a try. The party is also promising to promote entrepreneurship and business growth for all citizens, while encouraging productive partnerships with experienced foreign and local investors and those from the diaspora to drive technology transfer, mentorship, and local value creation. The Forward Guyana Movement Manifesto also addresses the party's plan to tackle corruption.
Yes, corruption does not only rob a people of their money, but it robs us of our opportunities. It robs us of our very dignity. And for almost 60 years since our independence, we have practiced a politics that obviously does not work anymore for our people. This country has never had more money in its history, and at the same time has never had more marginalization, has never had more poverty, has never had more people struggling to simply get by.
The Forward Guyana movement intends to also look at constitutional reform, a secured country, and a society where persons are free to express themselves. On the campaign trail tonight, declaring that he is confident of an election victory, the presidential candidate of the We Invest in Nationhood Party, Azruddin Mohammed, last evening rolled out his plan to improve the lives of citizens. Addressing supporters at a public meeting in Seafield Sophia here in Georgetown, Mr. Mohammed told those gathered that the government can do much more for them. But instead, the current government, according to him, is more focused on pomp and ceremony, while wasting tax dollars on unnecessary events and being involved in shady deals. Mohammed said with Guyana's current economic fortunes, citizens should have been better off. He said if given an opportunity to lead, he will ensure more disposable income remains in the pockets of citizens.
Every day oil is pumping up here. Monday to Sunday, 12 months, 365 days a year. Every day we are receiving $2 billion Guyana dollars, and yet the people are left behind. Yet you get the crumbs, we get the crumbs. While they have their events at the State House, one of those events when they post up all these meals cost $3 to $5 million just for an event. And then they dump in the food. And then our children gotta go to bed hungry when the night comes. This is the reality of Guyana.
The Win Party will be contesting in all 10 administrative regions. Mohammed said once a mandate is given to him by the electorate, a better life will be realized for everyone under his government.
This is the reality, but this is how we will cut back on wasteful spending. This is how I will cut back. Presently, we got to roll with 10, 12 vehicles when they go in somewhere. You want all of them? We got a 3 vehicle, we good. We good. They used to complain about Granger, how the man rolling with 10, 12 vehicles. All of this is money. Money, we gotta cut back. We gotta get more money to invest in the people. We need to better the lives of the people.
Mohammed believes that the most vulnerable in the society are being neglected, and as such, he plans to build a modern senior citizens home to replace the current Palms geriatric home. He is also promising sweeping upgrades to the Stabroek and border markets, and he said one of his party's cost of living measures will be to reduce the value-added tax from the current 14% to 10% and further reduce the PAYE tax by 5%.
You must afford to go on a vacation. You must afford to jump on a plane. Like how their families can go to Dubai and all these places. You must afford to travel too. This is the one Guyana we want. This is the one Guyana we want, and we will get the one Guyana come the 2nd of September. We will get it.
The Win presidential candidate also promised the residents of Sophia to invest heavily in solar and wind, saying that the country's power supply problems are now embarrassing. Some sad and tragic news to report now from the campaign trail. The political campaign in the country took a hit last evening when a candidate for the People's Progressive Party Civic collapsed and died while making a speech at a roadside meeting in Agatash in Region 7. He has been identified as Daniel Williams, who served as a headmaster and educator for a number of years. Video recordings of the man's collapse and his colleagues rushing to his aid was shared on social media. In a statement, the PPP remembered Daniel Williams as an educator and community leader, noting his unwavering dedication to improving the lives of those around him. The party described him as a valuable comrade and true public servant. The other political parties contesting the upcoming elections also offered tributes and condolences. In a statement, Region 7 native and APNU Prime Ministerial candidate Director Finance said the passing of Daniel Williams has left a profound void, not just in the political landscape of Bartica, but in the hearts of all who knew him. She said her own political journey was shaped in Bartica, and Mr. Daniel Williams was one of the figures who made that experience meaningful for her. She said though he entered politics later in life, he gave it his all. The Alliance for Change in its message noted that Mr. Williams' contribution to the development of young minds and the advancement of education will not be forgotten. The AFC said regardless of political differences, Mr. Williams' passing is a loss to the entire country. The party said his life exemplified service and his impact will continue to be felt by those he taught, mentored, and led. The We Invest in Nationhood Party offered condolences with its presidential candidate Azruddin Mohammed, stating that life is fragile and moments like these remind us that we are all human beings first. Mohammed said we must never allow politics to rob us of our shared humanity. The Forward Guyana movement said the death of Daniel Williams is a sad reminder that behind the colors, the flags, the platforms, and the rallies, we're all human beings. The party said a family has lost a loved one, a school has lost a leader, and the community is grieving. The Assembly of Liberty and Prosperity, headed by Simona Brooms, also extended its condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Williams.
Man, why the two of y'all look so gloomy?
Uncle Joe, you know thief man in we house and thief all we valuables, including we ID card. Now election come around and we want to go vote. We ain't get no ID card to identify ourselves. Now we can't go vote.
Well, you need to apply to GECOM to have your ID cards replaced. But you need not worry that you won't be able to vote because you don't have your ID cards. GECOM has put other measures in place to accurately identify voters like you who may not have the ID cards.
But how they gonna do that? How they gonna know is we name on the list if we don't have ID to prove it?
In addition to your ID card, voters can present their valid passports or a valid driver's license if they have these.
Really?
But further, GECOM has placed your photograph alongside your name on a folio which will be at the polling station. And if you go to the polling station without a photo ID, you will be asked to state your name and address. The elections official will look at your face and then compare it with the photo alongside your name on the folio to confirm that they are the same. Then you'll have to answer some questions to verify your identity. If the election official is satisfied that you are the person who you claim to be, you will be allowed to vote after taking an oath of identity.
So you get to vote?
For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Turbo with a new look, new style, with the same great taste in the 250 ml can. Everybody run out now. Go and go grab one. Me charge up with a turbo 250 ml at your favorite spot. Wait, sell. New look, new can, same vibes. Jinxing, energize up your life. Vibes up, work time, anytime we are turn up the party with turbo can. Turbo can, turbo can, turbo can. Now available in the new 250 ml can. Turbo energy drink. Charge up today.
We ready, time to remove the curse.
The APNU Coalition campaign now moves to Region 10, Linden Town. On Sunday, August 10th at the Palm Tree Cinema Square from 4 p.m. Come hear from our candidates. Come hear about our people-centered development strategy that puts people first. Come hear from our Prime Ministerial candidate, Jurita Fernandez, our presidential candidate, Aubrey C. Norton, and others. On Sunday, August 10th from 4 p.m. Linden Town. The Palm Tree Cinema Square will vibrate with a people-powered campaign. APNU, putting people first.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. The police and TNT Coast Guard Monday launched aerial, marine and land searches for missing couple Samuel Montano and Zahida Mohammed amid growing fears that they may be dead after blood and spent shells were found in Montano's home. According to Trinidad Guardian, Montano, 44, and his girlfriend Zahida Mohammed, 36, were last seen around 11 a.m. on Saturday by his sister who lives nearby. Mohammed lives at St. John's Village in San Fernando, but was spending the long weekend at Montano's home at Sunset Cove Extension. On Sunday, Montano's sister made a disturbing discovery: a trail of blood leading from the house to the nearby shoreline. Inside the home, police investigators later found a bloody bedsheet, 23 spent shell casings, 7 of which reportedly bore markings associated with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service (TTPS), and a clump of hair believed to belong to Mohammed. TNT Coast Guard divers searched the sea near the property, while police dogs and aerial units searched surrounding areas, but were no closer to finding the couple's location up to last evening. Police suspect the couple was dragged from the home into a boat and taken away. One of the motives being looked into is that the attack was carried out because Montano owed money to some unscrupulous people. Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Holness, says his ruling Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, is under no notion that it is entitled to a third term in office, but is working to ensure the party continues in government. Holness, who was speaking to JLP supporters on Sunday in St. Andrews East Rural, said while his party is working towards this, the opposition People's National Party is displaying that sense of entitlement. According to a report published by Jamaican Gleaner, Dr. Holness said the struggle the average Jamaican goes through, he too endured, and this has caused him to be able to direct policy. He said his conscience is clear and his heart is clean, noting that he has never wished harm, spoken ill of, spread a rumor, or lied on anyone. In the same breath, he defended his integrity, telling supporters that he worked hard and honestly to achieve his success. Holness said he has never been given anything for free and that he has had to work hard for all that he has. His comment follows the release of a court document containing the affidavit of Craig Beresford, the Director of Information and Complaints at the Integrity Commission. The affidavit detailed how Holness' income and assets were under scrutiny by anti-corruption authorities from at least 2017, as investigators questioned the source of funds behind his net worth, which rose from $350,000 in 1998 to almost $160 million in 2019. And finally tonight, international news. The UN's Food Agency has warned that families trapped within the besieged Sudanese city of El Fasher face starvation. The World Food Programme, WFP, said it had not been able to deliver food to the city in the western Darfur region by road for more than a year. El Fasher has been surrounded by paramilitary fighters from the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, for nearly 60 months, determined to seize it from Sudan's army. The WFP warning comes as local activists have already begun reporting deaths by starvation in the city, which is still home to about 300,000 people. Sudan was plunged into civil war in April 2023 after a vicious power struggle erupted between the army and its former ally, the RSF, creating one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.